Are you trying to decide between the Australian Shepherd and the Australian Cattle Dog for your next family pet? Both breeds were bred as working dogs, but they have some differences that will help you make your decision. Today, we'll tell you about Australian Cattle Dog versus Australian Shepherd. Differences. Number 14. Appearance. You can easily distinguish the Australian Shepherd from the Cattle Dog because of his fluffy coat that gives you a bigger appearance. The Cattle Dog, on the other hand, has a shorter and thinner coat. Both dogs have merle coats, which increases their chance of being born with different eye colors that give them distinct from other dogs. The Australian Shepherd is known for having 4 colors, while the Cattle Dog is known in 6 varying colors, though it is likely for him to have large patches of tan. The Australian Shepherd has a longer muzzle and smaller ears compared to the Cattle Dog that retain his dingo ancestors' fierce appearance. The Aussie Shepherd has a naturally docked tail, while the Cattle Dog has a fox-like tail, though in some cases it can also be born with a docked tail. If you really want a showstopper when it comes to appearance, you may want to take a look at the Australian Shepherd. The Australian Shepherd is a breed known for his gorgeous medium-length coat, which can come in a number of unique colors and pattern types. He has shorter, floppy ears and can be born with a bobbed or long tail. Sometimes owners choose to dock their Aussie's tail if it's too long. The Australian Shepherd may even have blue eyes, although they can also have brown or even blue and brown. Number 13. Size. The Australian Shepherd is bigger than the Cattle Dog, measuring 18 to 23 inches, 45.7 to 58.4 centimeters. Its weight ranges from 40 to 65 pounds, 18.1 to 29.4 kilograms. On the other hand, the Cattle Dog stands between 17 and 20 inches, 43.1 to 50.8 centimeters. It is also lighter in weight, averaging from 35 to 50 pounds, 15.8 to 22.6 kilograms. In some cases, the dog may appear bigger or smaller than the average size depending on his activity and diet. Number 12. Lifespan. Both dogs have an average lifespan of 12 years, although the Australian Shepherd can live up to 15 years, while the Cattle Dog is a bit longer at 16 years. Of course, their life expectancy still depends on various factors, such as their diet, daily activities, checkups, and how they are raised. Number 11. Shedding. Both dogs are moderate shedders. They shed throughout the year, but will shed heavily twice during the shedding season. However, keep in mind that the Australian Shepherd shed more than the Cattle Dog. Number 10. Temperament. When it comes to their temperament, you might notice a slight difference between the two. It is said that the Australian Shepherd does a better job in becoming a family pet than the Cattle Dog. This may be due to the fact that the Cattle Dog has a strong herding ability and would prefer guarding the house rather than staying indoors. It doesn't make him a poor family pet. However, it's just that the Australian Shepherd can adapt more easily to a family home setting than the Cattle Dog. The Aussie is a herding dog at heart and may try to herd children, seeing them as part of his drove. Luckily, training beginning in puppyhood can keep stem this undesirable trait. While the Australian Cattle Dog does well with older children, he may not tolerate the noisy chaos little ones bring. He can also be standoffish with strangers if not properly socialized at an early age. Regardless of which breed you pick, it is important to note that both the Australian Shepherd and the Australian Cattle Dog are working breeds. They are happiest when they are given doggy jobs to perform. Number 9. Intelligence. Both dogs are brainy and are always tops of the class, but the Cattle Dog is one of the brightest canines out there. Although intelligent, the Cattle Dog might be harder to train than the Australian Shepherd because they tend to be stubborn. As a matter of fact, they are known for outsmarting their owners according to the AKC. Number 8. Activity level. Both are working dogs and would require a high activity level. They need a job to do, either herding a farm, collecting the post, or participating in canine sports. If you keep either of them as a family pet, make sure that they are given enough time and place to release their energies. Otherwise, they will develop destructive behaviors. Number 7. Trainability. Both dogs are intelligent and eager to please. However, their intelligence would mean that they need intensive training. If not, they may get bored and even outsmart you. It is also important that they are socialized at an early age, especially the cattle dog. His herding ability and protective personality can get him in trouble if he is not properly exposed in all situations. That said, both dogs are not for the novice and first-time owners. Rather, they are best suited for experienced owners who can provide them with consistent yet gentle training that they need. In fact, according to the AKC, the Australian cattle dog has a reputation for consistently outsmarting his owners. For this reason, he will do best in homes with an experienced owner who has plenty of time and patience to train him. Number 6. Exercise needs. The Australian Shepherd and the cattle dog both require the same amount of exercise. At least an hour of vigorous daily exercise is what they need. It is also essential to engage them in activities that involve mental stimulation, including canine sports and interactive games. If they are properly socialized and well trained, they would also enjoy a good walk or jog at the park. Keep in mind that if they don't receive the physical exercise and mental stimulation that they need, they may develop undesirable behavior. Number 5. Grooming. The Australian Shepherd is slightly more demanding than the cattle dog simply because he has a longer length coat. He will need brushing 2 or 3 times a week to ensure his coat is kept manageable and tangle-free. Meanwhile, the cattle dog would only need weekly brushing to keep his coat in its best condition. Bathing should only be done when necessary. Ears should regularly be cleaned to prevent the buildup of wax, and the nails should be trimmed every month. However, with both the Australian Shepherd and the cattle dog, you should take extra care with checking their eyes, simply because they both suffer from a vast array of eye issues. Be sure to check for any abnormalities or changes in their eyes, and see the veterinarian if you are unsure of anything. Number 4. Good with family. Both dogs are very loyal, devoted, and affectionate with their families. However, their herding instinct gives them the tendency to herd small animals and toddlers. This can cause trouble, especially if they are previously used as a herding dog. Proper training can lessen this trait, but it won't entirely remove their tendency to herd. Also, cattle dogs are less tolerant of loud noises, such as children's yell. Because of this, they are best suited for homes with older children and without other pets. Overall, both dogs are fun to be with. Expect that there are no boring days around them. Number 3. Apartment living. Australian cattle dogs are definitely not for apartments. They need a large space to guard their territories. In fact, they would love to sleep outdoors during warmer seasons. Compared to the Australian Shepherd, they are also more aloof and wary with strangers, thus making them great guard dogs. On the other hand, Australian Shepherds can live in apartments so long as their daily exercise needs are met. Number 2. Health problems. In general, both dogs are healthy and will enjoy long lives. However, just like every other dog, they may still be susceptible to certain health conditions. The Australian Shepherd may suffer from hip and elbow dysplasia, eye diseases, epilepsy, tumors, cancer, heart disease, deafness, and autoimmune diseases. On the other hand, the Australian cattle dog may experience progressive retinal atrophy, hip and elbow dysplasia, deafness, and osteochondritis dissecans. Number 1. Final thoughts. Despite the similarities in their names, the Australian cattle dog and the Australian Shepherd are contrasting in some ways. Some say that the latter is more suited to a family home, while the former is best suited as a guard dog. If properly trained and socialized, both dogs make excellent family companions. They are loving, gentle, yet can also be fun and entertaining. There may be differences that will distinguish one from the other, but regardless of your choice, both dogs will reward you with love and affection so long as you provide for their needs. The bottom line is that these are both great breeds, but that does not mean they are right for everyone. If you are a social family with young children, then the Australian Shepherd may be the best choice for you. He is easier to train than the other, and he gets along well with children, strangers, and other pets. Still, he will require plenty of exercise and will be happiest when given lots of doggy jobs to perform. On the other hand, if you enjoy a challenge, have older children or no children, and are not new to dog behaviors and dog training, then the Australian Cattle Dog may be a perfect fit. While he needs lots of training and has been known to be intelligent to a fault, this breed makes training extra fun with his wit. He will make for a fun and clever companion to the right person or family. So let us know in the comment which one of them have you decided to adopt. Please subscribe to the Amazing Dogs. Thanks for watching.